Alright, we recording from now. Alright, so this is Maurice Bay, the helpful. This is Maurice Bay here, the helpful trucker. And I got a little ride to take. I'm leaving, I'm heading, leaving Chantilly. And so in this video, I'm going to share with you why I'm still in trucking, even though I said I was getting out. I kind of feel obligated to share this with the people that have subscribed to my channel, especially those that saw the video that I created a few months back. I don't know, about 5 or 6 months ago at the beginning of 2020, basically saying that I was done with trucking and I'm getting out of trucking. And I gave, I think I gave 9 reasons why. So in this video, I've gotten a few comments from viewers that asked me politely and nicely why I'm still in trucking, even though I said I was getting out. So I want to address that in this video. But I also want to address in this video, you know, I've gotten a few other comments as well from people that have said that I discourage truck drivers, or I discourage people from getting into trucking. I can remember one guy specifically left a comment and said, you're not inspiring me, right? And I let him know, man, look, this is the helpful trucker, man. You didn't subscribe to the inspirational trucker, and you didn't subscribe to the highest paid trucker, right? You subscribe to the helpful trucker, and I try to give the people here to subscribe to this channel helpful content. So essentially, I had to let them know that, you know, I apologize that my content is not inspiring you like you thought it would. But essentially, I'm just trying to give helpful content here. So, and in addition to those 2 pieces of information I want to talk about on this video, I'm also going to, you know, I've been driving a truck. I got my CDL right at 5 years ago. So, it's about time for me to do like I guess you could say like a review anyway of what I think about trucking after being in it 5 years. So I'm gonna talk about all of that in this video while we ride through Chantilly. I'm expecting to have a little bit of traffic on the way home, but it'll be all good. I'm gonna try to keep you entertained and give you some good stuff to think about as well on your own trucking endeavors. So the first thing I want to talk about is the comment that I am discouraging truck drivers. The comment that, you know, it's interesting that, because all I try to do on this channel is give my own experience, my own perspective, right? Because I don't really feel comfortable speaking on things that I don't know about. And, you know, to be honest with you, to be totally transparent with you, it's a lot of things that I don't know about in regards to trucking and making money out here on the road and being an owner-operator and all that good stuff. There's a lot of things that I don't know. So what I try to do on this channel is just to stick to giving you my perspective and my experience. So what I'm saying is, when I share with you my perspective and it sounds negative, or it sounds like I'm discouraging a viewer from becoming a truck driver, it's not that I'm trying to discourage you, the viewer, or whoever else. I'm essentially just trying to give you all sides of trucking, okay? There are people out here that feel that trucking is for everyone, right? And I've seen some of them share that with an audience on their YouTube channel. They're like, hey man, trucking is for everybody. And me personally, I just don't believe that. Trucking is not for everybody, okay? There's very few things on the face of the earth that is for everybody, right? And trucking is no different. It's definitely not for everybody. While trucking does offer a lot of variety in the industry, there's a lot of ways that you can get set up in trucking based on your own personal preferences. But it's definitely not for everyone, okay? And with that being said, I mean, I guess the most typical things that an individual wouldn't like about trucking You probably already know already. The most typical things are stuff like, being away from your family for long periods of time, or having to deal with a lot of traffic all the time, or maybe dealing with companies that don't really care about you, or driving around raggedy equipment that's subpar equipment. Those are some of the typical things that you probably already know about, that if you're not gonna like trucking, then you probably already know about those things, right? Some of the other things that revolve that a person may not like about trucking is really all personal stuff. So it's hard to give general things that you wouldn't like, that a person wouldn't like about trucking, other than the things that I already shared with you, being away from your family and all of that good stuff. The things that I haven't enjoyed about trucking in the years that I have been out here pretty much all revolve around my money. I'm gonna be honest with you, because driving the truck, I love driving the truck. I honestly do. I really like driving the truck. But a lot of the other stuff, right? Like, I get paid by the mile. And this is what I mean by personal stuff, right? I get paid by the mile on the job that I'm on. And so, obviously, I don't want to do anything else other than miles, right? Somebody told me the other day that CDL stands for can't do labor, right? And I don't want to do labor, right? I don't want to have to unload my truck. I don't want to have to deal with straps. I don't want to have to deal with anything that I'm not getting paid for. It feel like free labor to me, right? I get paid for miles. So, again, dealing with my own personal situation, man, it's a lot of traffic over here. Dealing with my own personal situation, the job that I'm on, sometimes the getting is good and sometimes it's not, right? So if there's a lot of wait time, if I have to wait around a lot, I'm not happy about that, because we don't get paid for wait time. And to be honest with you, when I made that video that I was getting out of trucking, to be honest with you, to be transparent again, I made that video at a time that, like, things really slowed down with our company at the beginning of 2020. And it didn't slow down dealing with the pandemic. That's not why it slowed down. There were other reasons why it slowed down, and it affected a lot of us as drivers, and there were a lot of waiting around going on up there, and there's no pay for that, right? So it's like, of course that's gonna make me a little bit sour towards the job that I'm doing if I'm having to put in time and I'm not getting paid for it. But again, that's a personal thing. That's a personal thing. This is the job that I have, that I'm set up on. You probably, when you get into trucking, you probably won't be set up on the type of job that I'm set up on, right? I work for family, and the job that I'm on is not an OTR job. Most drivers, when they first get started, going OTR, and the ones that are doing local are not doing the kind of local work that I do. I would imagine that most of the people doing local work is doing like LTL, like a bunch of stops every day, that type of work. That's not what I do either. So, again, like I said, the things that I'm not having a good experience with as far as trucking, again, they're very personal. So while I'm giving you my perspective on what I don't like about trucking, again, I do want you to understand that that's just my perspective. Again, it's a personal thing, and it's all in how you're set up based on your own personal preferences. I will share this with you real quick, and then I want to move on to the other thing I wanted to talk about with you. Then I'm gonna hop off. In the time that I've been driving, I've had this truck on 3 different jobs. First job I had it on was a mulch job, where we had a mulch trailer, and the trailer got loaded from the top, right? So all we had to do, all that was consistent of that job was back up to the dock. They pulled the dozer over, or the loader, and they would load you up from the top with raw mulch, right? With ground up wood chips, basically. And then we would take that into a mulch place, and they would turn it into mulch. Well, that was the first run that I was on. Now, what I didn't like about that run is I wasn't able to run like I wanted to. So the run paid good, but I couldn't, I could only do like 2 a day, whereas I had enough time in a day to maybe do 4. So it wasn't, even with that job, it wasn't like, all right, this is what you get paid, now go do as much as you want to do. That never really happened on that job. So I was, it was like, and then in addition to that, sometimes, you know, the loaders would break down and stuff. So even with that, it was good pay per load, but it just didn't always work out. Like, I wanted to, like, I'm out here because I want to run. You get what I'm saying? I want to work. You know what I mean? So when I can't work, when I can't get money, I'm upset, right? But at the same time, I don't want to be gone. I don't want to be gone as much as an OTR driver is gone, right? So the second job that I had this truck on was taking mulch out of the place that my first job was taking mulch into. So the first job, they would load us up with the loader, and we would go in. We would take bag chips, not bag, but wood chips into the place. And what the place would do with the wood chips is grind them up and turn them into mulch. They would bag them up and send them back out to Lowe's and Home Depot and all of those places, Ace and True Value hardware stores. And so the second job that I was on, I was running flatbed, taking the bag mulch after they bag it up, taking it out to Lowe's. And that job was also okay, but that didn't seem to be consistent enough to me. They had to work sometimes, and sometimes they didn't have to work. And again, I like driving the truck, but you know, I need work, right? I need places to go, right? So the third place I'm on is the job that I'm on right now, and on this job, you know, it's okay, but when there's a bunch of wait time, or like today was a rough day, right? I got to work at 4 this morning to come 2.5 hours away, but when I got to work at 4, the trailer was in a sinkhole. The landing gear was in a sinkhole. So I don't get in the jockey truck. I don't ever get in the jockey truck. But I had to get in the jockey truck this morning because nobody else was there. If I wanted to leave with the trailer, I couldn't get under it with my truck. So I pulled it out with the jockey truck, and then I back up to it with my truck. And then I realized there's no lights. The lights are malfunctioning on the trailer. It's 4 o'clock in the morning. So I can't take the trailer out, obviously, at that time. So I go back home, because luckily I live right down the street from where I pull out of, which is a lesson, right? You want to be working close to a place that you pull out of in most situations. And they don't come in until 7. But the mechanic, he's going to be late today. This is what they're saying, and they don't know where he is. And he's the one that's got to fix the trailer. So make a long story short, I end up leaving out of there like 10:30. Excuse me. I end up leaving out of there like 10:30 to come 2.5 hours away, which is the reason why I'm in so much traffic right now, because essentially that just put me behind for the day. Again, I get paid by the mile, so it's no big deal. Traffic and getting out late is a part of being in trucking, obviously. But hey, with the way that I'm set up, that's why I talk to y'all about that so much. With the way that I'm set up, it's not beneficial for me to be waiting around. If I was getting paid by the hour, no big deal, right? But if I got started with the truck at 4 this morning, but I'm not able to get out until 10:30, you know, like I said, I did go back home, but I came back at 8 and still couldn't get out of there until 10:30 dealing with the trailer and stuff. So you do have days like that. Like I said, there's a lot of, you know, I compared the type of work that I've been doing on the truck to McDonald's food, right? And I don't know about you, but, you know, McDonald's food is okay if everything is done like it's supposed to, right? The food comes out hot, prompt, and your person is friendly. McDonald's experience is okay. The type of work I've been exposed to on the truck in the 5 years I've been doing it is okay if everything goes like it's supposed to. But if something don't go like it's supposed to me, it's like, man, this ain't even hardly worth it, right? So, when I give you that, when I speak from that perspective, again, I'm only speaking from my own perspective, right? And I know that my perspective is valid. I know that there are other people on the highway out here that feel exactly like I feel, that feel the same exact way about trucking. So I know that my experience is valid. I know that my perspective is valid, which is why I feel compelled to share it with anyone that's looking to get into trucking, because you don't just need to be looking at getting into trucking from the perspective or through the lens of somebody that just is telling you just the good about trucking. Everybody experiences, you know, the ugly side of trucking, but a lot of people don't want to show you that or talk to you about that. Why? I don't know. Why anybody would tell anybody, hey, anybody needs to get into trucking, I have no clue. You know what I mean? Why anybody would do that. If you're not a recruiter, if you're not getting paid for people coming into trucking, I don't know why a person wouldn't be compelled to share with an individual, You know what I mean? The good, the bad, and the ugly side of trucking, because it definitely ain't all pretty. And anybody that's telling you it's all pretty is likely not being honest with you. That's just the cold hard facts, man. This is not only my experience with trucking, but this is also the experience of several other truckers that I talk to. I talk to a lot of truckers that love trucking, but I talk to very few truckers that'll say blanketly across the board, man, this is an industry that anybody should get into. That's just not true. And again, why anybody would be compelled to tell you that, I don't know why, right? So, with that being said, I want to jump right into why I'm actually still in trucking, right? Because if trucking is all that bad as I'm telling you right now, and it's not that good, and I ain't making that much money and all that good stuff, why am I still in it, even though I told you 9 months ago or 6 months ago, I think it was now, that I was getting out? And that is not really that complicated. It's no big secret, right? There's a couple of reasons. One, there's a couple of reasons I already shared with you, right? I've been wanting to get out of trucking. It's not that I don't like driving the truck, man. To me, it's nothing better than being on the road behind the truck, like at sunset or sunrise, or even when it's dark, right? I love listening to the diesel engine when it's dark, when I'm riding down the road. I love it, you know what I mean? But all the other stuff, right? And, you know, if I got paid by the hour, maybe I wouldn't mind all those stuff. I would look at it from a whole different perspective. So again, why am I still in it? Wrong gear. Even professionals go to the wrong gear sometimes, but you see how I brought that thing back, right? So one is because of the pandemic. When I made that video earlier, I don't think the pandemic had really gotten out of control yet. I don't think a lockdown, none of that stuff had happened yet. And just basically, since all of that stuff happened, I'll be honest with you, I have had a different, you know, trucking is a I feel it's a secure industry. I definitely do feel that it's a secure job. And being that the pandemic just gave it an extra air of security to insecurity to everything. It's just like, hold on, dude, do you really want to give up, you know, a secure job, right? Do you really want to get out of a secure industry to pursue something else? You might want to be careful before you do that. So I kind of did stutter step because of that. It's like, all right, I'm a lot more unsure and insecure at this point because of the pandemic and everything that's happened as a result of it. And it's just like, I don't know if trucking industry is an industry I should be looking at getting out of. I would assume that, right, if trucking will be one of the last industries to shut down if everything goes haywire, because things still got to move, right? And I pull pallets around, so everybody got to have pallets. So, you know, we still moving pallets right now because for things to ship, most things that ship have to sit on a pallet. So the first reason I'm still doing it is because of the pandemic. Okay, I'll be honest with you. The second reason, again, is personal, man. I work for the family business. I've told you guys this before. I work for the family business, and because I work for the family business, it's not the same as just working for somebody else. So, and I don't want to get into that too much because I don't want to share that much personal stuff about myself and about my family situation. But you know, I do work for the family, so it's more than money while I'm still here in this truck. So family has to have something to do with it, right? And another reason, I guess the third reason why I'm still here, and again, just being honest and transparent with you in this video, trying to give you my perspective, my truth. I ain't found a way. I ain't replaced the way to pay the bills yet. The bottom line, I ain't found another way to pay the bills yet. So if I find something that's attractive, that I like, that I enjoy, that allows me to, because my freedom is important to me. And trucking is something. The thing I like about trucking is the feeling of freedom that it gives me, right? So my freedom is important. I don't want to be doing anything that makes me feel unfree or constricted or restrained or confined. I can't do that, right? So I ain't found nothing else that I enjoy, you know, as much as this right here to pay the bills. Trucking is the best job that I have had, right? I drive for my dad, but I'm 1099, and I make videos about being an owner-operator often because I know all of the expenses and all of the income that this truck makes. So I'm fully qualified to talk about being an owner-operator from that perspective. But technically, 1099, I just drive the truck for my dad. So like I said, so far I haven't found anything that has piqued my fancy, and I haven't created anything, and I haven't built anything, and I haven't invested in anything yet that has replaced my trucking income. So again, trucking is the best job that I've had. I've had my own business for years, but as far as having a job and working for somebody else, 1099 type of employment, trucking is the best job that I've had by far. And I've never had, I'm not a W2 guy, not that, I don't do those type of jobs, right? So, and the last reason why I'm probably still here, the fourth reason that I'm still in trucking, even though I said I was getting out a while back, is I enjoy it. I do enjoy it, and I've said that several times in this video already, right? A lot of things I don't like about it. I don't make the kind of money that I want to make on the job that I'm on right now. I do have the option of getting my own truck. But there's a lot to that, man. There's a whole lot to that. So that's for another video. I did want to give you my truth though, the good, the bad, and the ugly. Kind of my 5-year review of being in trucking. I enjoy it. I do enjoy being in trucking. I do love it. And I'd love it more once I get my money where it needs to be, where I feel like it should be, and where I know it should be, right? If you've ever worked for I won't speak on that. I won't speak on that. So anyway, man, I just wanted to give y'all guys that, give you a couple nuggets on this video. Hope you got some good information from it. If you did, be sure to go down below and click the like button. This is your boy, The Helpful Trucker. Consider subscribing to the channel if you got value from the video, and if you do, I will see you on the next video.